Hey everybody, it's MotherGoose27 and welcome back to my channel. So, I have always wanted to watch a Studio Ghibli movie. I've heard such amazing things about it, but I just never had the chance. And of course I've seen clips of Studio Ghibli movies here and there, but I've never just sat down and watched through a full one. So I decided that I was going to watch one, and I was going to do it for the series. And I looked onto Vudu because I knew that these were classics. I knew that whatever I watched was a movie I was going to want to own. And they had 6, and I was looking through them, and I said, okay, I'm going to pick whichever one has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score. And of course, they all had really high Rotten Tomatoes scores, but there was one that was just a little above the others, and that's the one I chose. So, I finally watched Kiki's Delivery Service. Like always, there will be time codes in the description so you guys can bounce around the video if you want. I'm going to give my general thoughts, I'm going to talk about the story, and then I'm going to talk about the characters very briefly, and then I'm going to talk about the animation and the music, and then I'll get some final thoughts. So let's just jump into it. I really love this movie. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I'm so mad at myself for not watching this movie sooner. It was so cute, it had such a great story, and it was just chill. And not in a bad, I don't mean that in a bad way, just your name and a silent voice literally made me want to cry so much throughout so many moments in both of those films. And it had me stressed out, and don't get me wrong, I love those movies, but I was stressing. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Black Clover are very action-packed. There's a lot going on. You're always on the edge of the seat. What's going to happen next? But in contrast, Kiki's Delivery Service was just really chill. And I really loved that. It was just a good story. I'm so excited to go watch the other Studio Ghibli. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's how I've heard it most of the time, Studio Ghibli. But I've also heard some people say Studio Ghibli. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, please correct me. But no, I'm so excited to go see their other films. Let's talk about the story. We've got Kiki and Gigi going out into the world. Kiki's 13, and she's got to complete her 1-year witch training. I thought that was really unique. Super young, but then again, Ash left when he was, like 10? I loved the magic and how it worked. I did think it was really weird that she goes to this big city and there aren't any witches there. So my question is, are witches rare? Do they avoid cities? Was there some, I don't know, Salem witch trials that long ago and witches still don't trust cities? I don't know. I just thought that was strange. It also really gave Kiki the chance to, show off, I guess. And her interactions with the police. I thought it was so funny. Man, I just really love this film. I love how she was able to set up how she was the one who set up her delivery service. I mean, she had some help, but she's a self-starter. And I love that she was able to, 1, use her magic to help people, and 2, make a living. Oshino was so kind to let Kiki come stay with her. I'm not gonna lie, I was really stressing when she went to the hotel and they kicked her out, said you couldn't stay here. I was like, where's poor Kiki gonna stay? I loved all of her interactions with her clients. They were each unique and individual. That really made the story more believable. When Tombo invited her to a party and she stood him up, kind of. It wasn't really her fault. Things happened, but that poor boy was so sad. You could just see it on his face. It was so sad. But I really liked Tombo as well. I honestly thought that they were going to end up together in the end, but I really liked that they were just friends. When Kiki lost her magic, it broke my heart. I was so sad. I felt so bad for her. It just made me so sad. Poor Kiki. Literally, this was her 1-year training to become a witch, and she loses her magic. But through the help of friends, she gets it back. I really liked the end sequence where the blimp was coming down and Tombo was on there and she had to save him. And she still couldn't use her magic yet, but the desire to save her friend is what gave her the strength to just use her magic, and she saves him. And then the movie kind of ends. I'm not gonna lie, if I had one complaint about this film, please believe, I love this film so much, but I just felt like it ended a little abruptly. Like the credits started rolling and I was like, that's it? That's all? I was so sad. I just wanted more. But no, I really loved the movie, and I really loved the story and the journey that Kiki went on. Let's talk about some of the characters. I typically like to go a little more in depth, but I'm going to try and keep it short. I loved Kiki. I loved her arc throughout the films and learning to use her magic. Gigi was probably my favorite character. Y'all know me. Y'all know I love cats. He was a good companion. He helped Kiki out. He even pretended to be a doll. He got held around by his tail by a kid. He had a dog pick him up with its mouth, which the dog was just trying to help. But he still did that for Kiki. What a great friend. And I really loved that Kiki could understand him, but she couldn't understand other animals, but he could understand other animals. So it's so funny seeing him telling her what she said, especially when the crows attack and he's like, they say you're an egg stealer, or when he gives her sass because the geese, shout out to my people, said there was a wind gust coming through and Kiki got blown away. But what I find is funny is because Gigi was like, the geese were nice enough to warn us and you didn't listen. But the geese got blown away by the wind too. They didn't even take their own advice. Oshino was so caring and compassionate. I really loved her as a character, and I'm really glad that we got to see a lot of her throughout the film, not just like, hey, here's a place to stay, and then she kind of disappeared. Kiki's parents seemed super chill. Both of them seemed like they really loved her, and that was great to see. Ursula, of course, she was so kind to help Kiki and take her in after Kiki lost her magic. I really loved her character. I loved how artistic she was and how she compared art and magic. The senior, which I don't think we ever learned her name as far as I know, hated her. She was so snobby, and I'm so glad she didn't come back in the film. Tombo was a great character. I really loved his consistent presence and his persistence to be Kiki's friend, and I really love that she was able to save him in the end, and it was his peril that helped her get her magic back. Let's talk about the music and the animation. The music was beautiful, and I'm not going to talk a lot about the music, but I love music, and I know most people do, but I just really loved the music and the score for this film. And in the same vein, I guess, I absolutely loved the animation. It was just so beautiful, and I know that a lot of Studio Ghibli's anime have a very similar art style, and I'm just so excited to see the others. Final thoughts time. Again, I just love this film so much. It was so good. It was so cute. Such a nice story. Again, I was so sad when it was over. I just wanted more. I wanted to see what happens next. I loved it. I loved the characters, loved the animation, the music. All of it was just beautiful. If you haven't seen this movie, I definitely recommend it. You've got to check it out. It's too good not to watch. Maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but I don't care. It was fantastic. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to join the flock. Also, let me know, what Studio Ghibli film should I watch next? I will see you guys in the next one. Mother Goose out.